Aquarius, June is soft, steady, and transformational. Love is growing in your closest relationships, abundance is flowing into your everyday life, and your soul is asking for more. Hey, I'm Lindsay. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer and subconscious reprogrammer, here to help you transform your life by reminding you how energetically powerful you really are. That typically involves you releasing your limiting beliefs and reprogramming your subconscious mind to success so you can actually manifest the life that you dream of living. Aquarius, we're going to look at the general transits in the sky for June of 2025, and then I'm going to open up the chart and I'll take you week by week so you can see how this month and this story is going to unfold for you. And Aquarius, remember that you have got to be an active participant in creating your reality, which means you must take action if you'd like to transform your life. Aquarius, I love to use astrology as an awareness tool because it tells us the energetic potentials that are swirling in the sky for us to take advantage of so we can take action, use the energy, and transform our lives, manifesting a completely new reality. All right, Aquarius, let's go. Mercury starts off in your 5th house. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication, your intellectual pursuits, your curiosities, in your 5th house of life's pleasures. So you might be asking yourself, am I really loving my life? You might be thinking about things to bring into your life that you're very curious about. You want to follow your heart. You might be thinking about things in your life that no longer light you up, and you're like, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. Now, the 5th house also does involve romance and it involves children. So it could be a time where you're communicating with different potential romantic partners, going on different dates at this time. It could also be a time where if you already have a partner, you're discussing children or extending your family in that way. It could also be a time where you're really creative because this 5th house involves your creativity and your self-expression. Now, Mercury is really known for communication. So you might be making more posts on social media than ever before. You might have tons of ideas around YouTube videos. You might be writing a book of something along those lines, and you're really excited to share it far and wide. You're really excited to express it out. And the last thing that this could involve is you thinking about a business or your business. So maybe you have ideas for a side hustle and you're planning them out. Or it could be if you're already a business owner that you're kind of creating a launch schedule, you're looking at your calendar, you're finding efficiencies and ways to be more effective and productive in your business, because the 5th house does involve entrepreneurial pursuits as well. Then on the 8th of the month, Mercury enters into your 6th house. And now you're more focused in on your work routines. You might be working with your boss to decide on what projects you need to get done in order to get the raise or the promotion next year. You might be more communicative with your colleagues at this time, and maybe working with your team on ways to have just more productivity within your department even. Now, the 6th house also does involve your health, and so you could be receiving good news at this time. You could energetically heal yourself at this time through your own mental work, really believing and trusting in the power of your mind and the power of your thoughts and your speech. And it's also a time where you might be focused in more physically on a new workout routine, a new diet, a new lifestyle routine. And lastly, you might just be very social because the 6th house does rule your daily routine. It's kind of a day in the life of, and you've got chatty, sociable Mercury here. And so you might be out and about more often, conversing with more people than you typically do in your normal daily life. And then on the 26th, Mercury enters now into your 7th house, where you're going much deeper as it relates to communication with your lover, husband, wife, partner, soulmate, with your business partner, and even your best friends. This is you really connecting mentally, intellectually, verbally with your one-on-one relationship. So Aquarius, you know what you have your mind on this month, but what about your love and your money? Well, Venus starts off in your 3rd house, so let's talk love first. This 3rd house is all about kind of weekend getaways, short trips. So you could go on a short trip and connect with somebody and maybe fall in love, or at least start going on dates or something like that. It's the house of your childhood and the community that you grew up in. So it could be that you're connecting with a friend from high school that's like, oh my gosh, I have a crush on you, something like that. And it's also the house of your intellect, your curiosities. So maybe you're following your heart toward a new curiosity, and that leads to a new skill, gift, or talent that could draw more money to you. Now, when looking at the energy of money in this 3rd house, this is very much the energy of marketing, sales, communication, promoting. So if you are a business owner or if you work in one of those areas in your industry or at your job, this is a really powerful time for you to really sell a lot of different products, services, things like that. And then on the 8th of the month, Venus enters into your 4th house of home and family, of your personal inner security. So from a love perspective, it's likely that your house is so full of love, happiness, joy at this time. You might feel compelled to go deeper, really enjoy your family, be very present, kind of setting aside anything else that is not family, and family's really taking the priority at this time. Could also be a time where you are healing within your family, maybe healing a relationship with your mother as well, because the 4th house does involve the mother. And from a more tangible perspective, a money perspective, it's a time where you might be buying or selling land. The 4th house involves land, involves real estate. So you might be making deals there. You might sell your house and receive way more money than you expected. And it's also a time where maybe you decide to start like a family business or something, because you've got like love and money in this family house. So you're like, okay, family, let's band together. Let's, build a whole life for ourselves full of abundance and happiness and joy. So Aquarius, you know what you're thinking about. You know about your love and your money, but what are you physically doing this month? Well, Mars starts off in your 7th house of your personal relationships. So it's very likely that you are spending more time physically with the people that mean the most to you, whether that's like making more time to go on coffee dates with your best friend, more dinner dates and date nights with your partner. Maybe you and your business partner are meeting physically, whereas maybe you live across the country from each other, so you're usually on Zoom. And it's a time where you want to do like fun things. Mars is kind of like a playful, kind of passionate, kind of like flirty type of energy almost in the 7th house. So you might be doing like more entertaining type of things, like going to watch a sporting event or going to an arcade, versus kind of this like sitting down at dinner type of energy. This is also a powerful time if you're single, or if you're looking for a new best friend, or if you're looking for a business partner, that you can go out there and maybe run into somebody. You might meet somebody in person that is a good fit for you, and you're more assertive, like you're really determined to find this person at this time. And on the 17th of the month, Mars enters into your 8th house, and this is such powerful energy because Mars in the 8th is asking you to like really transcend, become the better version of yourself. You are interested in more like exercise at this time. You're focused in on like going deep within your own psyche and doing physical things to do that. So you're meditating, you're going to yoga, you're journaling, you're doing things with your physical body to understand perhaps the fears that might be holding you back from this greater version of yourself. Now, the 8th house also does involve joint accounts and resources, and Mars is physical action here. So you might be combing through yours and your partner's bank account. You might be figuring out different ways to make more money, and you're like really sitting down and looking at the books, looking at your investments, filing the claim, talking with the attorney, something like that. Aquarius, before we move on to Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, changing signs for the first time in a year, hit the subscribe button if you are an Aquarius or you have one in your life. Aquarius, lucky you. Jupiter enters into your 6th house on the 9th of June, and this is optimism, abundance, expansion, prosperity, joy, happiness, fulfillment in your 6th house of your work routines, in your 6th house of your day-to-day life, in your 6th house of your health routines. Oh my gosh, you are going to feel so good over the next year in your everyday life. It's like your charisma, your personal magnetism is so turned on, and I would just expect that your whole life just expands so beautifully over the next year. It's a time where you might be getting the raise or the promotion. It's a time where you're figuring out your health, maybe helping heal other people even, and it's a time where you're like out and about in your day-to-day life over the next year, and everyone can just feel that you've done the inner work, that your personal magnetism is turned on, and you're just meeting up with really nice, like-minded people. You're getting the good vibes, and like everything is just perfectly going your way. It's like the perfect day in the life of. It's a really powerful time, Aquarius, right now to script that out. What is the perfect day in the life of? What does your routine look like? Do you wake up, you feel like opening your eyes, or when the sun rises? Are you taking a bubble bath every morning? Are you running errands? Are you going to Pilates? Do you get to have brunch with your girlfriends every day because your business is just flowing passively by itself? What is your best day like? Write it down because Jupiter is going to deliver. Aquarius, let's talk the full moon, new moon, and then we'll get going to the week by week. On the 11th of June, there is a full moon happening in your 11th house. Now remember, full moons typically bring endings, completions, culminations, bringing things down to life, to fruition, or they're shining a spotlight on something. If you think about the full moon, it's kind of like a flashlight illuminating something that maybe you have had missed, or maybe it was kind of hanging out in the shadows, so to speak. So with this full moon in your 11th house, there's a couple of ways it's going to play out. One, the 11th house is about your authenticity. So the full moon is saying, like, please release the mask. Stop diluting yourself. Show up in your most authentic energy, Aquarius. I promise you that authenticity is one of the highest vibrations in this reality, and it is rewarded. Fortune favors the brave, and it takes bravery and courage to be very authentic and true to you. Also, the 11th house is your house of your friends and groups and organizations you belong to. So perhaps you've been hanging out with a friend that just no longer has the same life goals as you. Maybe it's a friend that every time you hang out with them, there's a little bit of trouble. You feel like your energy is depleted. Maybe a group that just no longer vibes with your energy. Perhaps it's time to let those people or that friend go. And then on the 25th of the month, you have a new moon happening once again here in your 6th house of your daily work and health routines. So blast out your desires as it relates to your work, as it relates to your best day ever, as it relates to your health, and let God, Source, Universe, Creator deliver. The way that you need to do this is by being very clear and concise about what it is you really desire, and not being afraid to send it out, saying words like, I insist, I command, I require XYZ in this 6th house of your daily work and health routines, and allow yourself to really step into your best day every day. All right, Aquarius, let's kick off. But before we start off looking at the week by week, I do want to let you know that I am not a doom and gloom astrologer. I very much understand that my thoughts and my speech create my reality, and the same goes for you. So I'm not going to share negative potentials in the sky. I do understand that there are squares and oppositions, which in a very traditional way bring challenges, but I love to look at challenges as catalysts for my soul's opportunity to grow and evolve. And if you look at your challenges in life as the same way, then you're always expanding, you're always growing. So that's how we're going to look at the sky this month and moving forward. All right, Aquarius, look down to the bottom right-hand side of the screen. I just circled. This is the calendar, and this is going to help us move the planets along in the sky. So every once in a while, I'll be directing you down to that corner of the screen to watch the dates. And let's get into it. So starting right out of the gate, I'm calling June 1st to the 8th, the first week of June, the week of good vibes and positive transformation. And here is why. You have got Pluto in your 1st house. Pluto, the planet of transformation, regeneration, rebirth, the planet of healing in your 1st house, sextile this energy of Saturn and Neptune in your 3rd house, Saturn conjunct Neptune. So Saturn conjunct Neptune, this is the energy of you being able to bring your dreams to life. You finally know what to do. You've got it figured out. Saturn is your drive, your determination, your responsibility, your emotional intelligence. Conjunct Neptune, the energy of your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. Now, this energy is hanging out in your 3rd house. So the way this could play out, and it's a positive aspect. Really quickly, it's a positive aspect called a sextile. Sextiles they're like the door is open, but you need to take action to walk through. So here you've got a big dream, a big idea, and it's swirling in your mind. This 3rd house of the intellect, curiosities, communication, and it is swirling and it is swirling, and you are ready to tell people about it. In fact, you're ready to study, you're ready to learn, you're ready to communicate, you're ready to reprogram your subconscious mind. And when you do that, something is going to change for the good of your life. This is this 1st house. Pluto change in the house of your I am. This is how you show up in the world. This is that's so bad. This is how people perceive you. This is you carving your own independent life path. So what this is telling me is you have finally a plan, intellectually, You can speak it out into existence. You're ready to go. And this plan has to do with your own personal evolution. It has to do with you changing your internal energy so people perceive you differently and you can actually start to change your reality, because that's really how it works, right? You change your internal energetic body because you start to change your energy. You exude a new energy. You exude a new energy. People perceive that energy. And now all of a sudden, people are working in your favor to change your entire reality for you. It is so freaking powerful, Aquarius. How exciting. But what I'd like to show you next is that this is going to last for quite some time. So I'm just going to get rid of all these awful arrows. And if you can watch down in the corner of the chart where I showed you earlier, we're going to go, let's just go all the way through like July. We're on July 3rd, and you'll notice that Pluto is still in his circle and that Saturn and Neptune are still in their circles. Well, they're slower moving planets, they're outer planets. So this is going to go on for quite some time. So it's not going to be some like big aha moment. It's going to be like that. This slowly progresses. And all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, I actually did it. I created my dream reality. So Aquarius, what are you creating? Let me know in the comments below and come back next month and let me know if it's playing out for you, because I'm always so curious to know how this works out for everybody when I do these horoscopes. All right, so we're off to a really good start, but let's keep going. There's so much more to say. So the next thing we want to look at on the first of the month is Venus down here in Aries, once again in your third house, sextile Jupiter in Gemini in your fifth house. Now, once again, a sextile opportunity. Is this a positive aspect? The door is open. You get to march through. Venus Jupiter energy is like a kiss of money luck in the sky, a kiss of good luck in the sky. Now, this good luck is coming for you or to you from your house of communication and intellect, and from your house of life's greatest joys and pleasures, your house of self-expression. So it might be at this time that you're really ready to share something. You're like magnetic. Your voice is magnetic. Whatever you're saying, people are really interested, Aquarius, and you're ready to really expand yourself out. You're not playing small anymore. You're like, I'm doing the dang thing. It's a really powerful manifesting energy as well. It's just a feel-good energy around your self-expression. Now, it could also play out because you've got Venus in this third house of people from your past, your childhood. It could be that, and it's also the third house of traveling short distances. So you could meet somebody or connect again with somebody from your childhood, connect with somebody on a trip. And in this fifth house is romance. And so maybe you find like a new romantic partner, maybe a little weekend fling, something like that as well. And that energy, if you want to look down at the bottom of the chart, is happening for you until about the fifth of the month. Oops, I went a little bit too far. About the fifth, sixth of the month. Really the fifth, because on the sixth, Venus enters into Taurus and it kind of breaks up the sextile. All right, moving along, Aquarius, moving along nicely here. We'll get back to the second of the month now. Let's look at the second. We have got, or you have got Mercury in Gemini here in your fifth house again. Sextile Mars up here in your seventh house. Now, this is the energy of you putting a plan into action. And once again, you've got Mercury, communication in your house of romance, Mars in taking action in your house of relationships. So are you talking to new people and going on dates? Are you talking to new people and really connecting and really enjoying it? And now you have a new boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. It's a time too with Mercury in the fifth house that rules entrepreneurial pursuits that you could be meeting up with a business partner perhaps as well. Either way, it's like you've got an idea around romance, children, self-expression, creativity, your entrepreneurial pursuits, and you're connecting with the right people physically to make those dreams, experiences, whatever come true. So whether it's like more date nights, whether it's meeting your business partner for the first time, something like that, that is happening for you as well. And it's a sextile again, so you're going to have to do a little bit of work, take a little bit of action, Aquarius, but it will be worth it and it'll be quite easy and it'll feel very harmonious. Now that energy is happening for you until about the 8th of June. All right, finally, we want to go to about the 7th, so more toward the end of week 1, from the 7th until about the 12th. we have got Venus in Taurus down here in your fourth house, squaring up with Pluto in Aquarius in your first house. Now, this is quite interesting energy. Venus squaring with Venus Pluto aspects, whether it's a conjunction, sextile, square, trine, or opposition, is like millionaire, billionaire energy in the sky. So if you have one of these aspects in your birth chart, congratulations, you have millionaire, billionaire potential in this lifetime, which is so cool. And if you want to know more about that, you can go to my website, lindsaywithlove.com, click learn your energy, and I write 50+ page astrology reports for people. So you might be interested in that. But looking at this transit that everybody gets to experience, you've got the energy of Venus in your fourth house of home and family. Now, it is a square, which means it's going to feel a little tensiony. There's a little bit of bubbling. There's a little bit of frustration, but this frustration is a catalyst for expansion. So if we can change the mindset around I'm frustrated versus like, what is this frustration trying to push me towards so I grow and expand and evolve? Now we're on to something, right? So Venus, the energy of love in your fourth house of home and family. Pluto, the energy of rebirth, transformation, healing in your first house. So this could play out in many ways. This could be you helping your family heal, you helping your mother heal, the fourth house of mother. This could be you feeling maybe a little bit of frustration around how you perhaps fit in with your family or how you are going to move on and march forward on your own independent path while staying connected with your family. Even it might be a time where you actually even move away from home, like you move from home, maybe you're going to college for the first time or you graduated, something like that, because you've got this love and this home family part, but you've also got this like change and like this change on your own independent path. So there might be a little bit of like a tug of war between like being really immersed in your family versus like being your own independent self as well. That's how that could play out. But big money energies, healing energy, and transformation in general. Okay, moving along. That's week one. So holy cow, there's so much already happening, Aquarius, and we've got 3 weeks to go. So we'll move the calendar along to June 9th. June 9th through the 15th, week two, I'm calling the week to get right with yourself. Let's get right with ourselves. Starting off here on June 9th, we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter up here in your sixth house, squaring up with Neptune conjunct Saturn in your third house. Now, Mercury conjunct Jupiter in your sixth house is you have a big, bold idea around your work, around your health, around your daily day in the life of. Like the sixth house, I really look at it as like your day-to-day life. So it's kind of like you have a big idea about your day-to-day life. And you have down here this energy, once again, of making your dreams come true. But it's like in this mental house. So you're like, I have a big idea up here in the sixth house, but I don't know, like I know I can do it, right? Because you have the energy of being able to do it right here with Saturn and Neptune, but you're trying to figure out how. You're like, how am I going to actually make this work? And there's a little bit of like annoyance, like maybe the plan that you have isn't going the way that you thought it would or you wanted it to. But let that kind of annoyance, that frustration show you something, right? Once again, if you stay very aware during these moments of frustration, something might expose itself to you energetically. So you can like, kind of play with your energy, tweak it a little bit so that you create this like best life ever scenario for yourself. So there's a little bit of like tug of war, like, oh, like I know how to do it, I know, but I just like can't. Or I'm like, I'm ready to do it, but I have this self-doubt that keeps creeping in. It's that type of a vibe, but it's only lasting a couple of days, just enough time to be a little bit annoyed so you make some sort of progress and you take action. Right, Aquarius? That's what I think about when I think of squares and like squares and oppositions. It's like just enough annoyance to like get me to do something different so that I succeed. All right, that goes until about the 11th, and then moving on from the 10th to the 18th, Venus is in Taurus now. So Venus left Aries, is now in Taurus down here in your fourth house, sextiling Mercury in Cancer in your sixth house. This is really powerful energy in the sky. This is really powerful manifesting energy in the sky. Why? Because to manifest, you need your thoughts and your speech, Mercury, your emotions, Venus, and your actions in alignment. And once you have those four in alignment, you will manifest anything you want, assuming you stay focused, assuming you take small actions every day. So here is some really strong manifesting power around your family, around good news around your work, your health. This could be that you receive good news about your mother's health. You receive good news about your health, and it just lights up your family, right? This is the energy of you receiving a raise or promotion at work, and more money is flowing into your family because of it. So there's a lot of ways this could play out. Maybe you have a new idea, or maybe you got some sort of news about your routine, whether like your work routine. Maybe you get news that you get to work from home. And because you do, you get to pour more love into your actual home because you're there and present more often. So it's going to play out in different ways, but it's a really beautiful energy. It could also be that you receive some sort of news on how to heal the sixth house of healing your family. You could actually start generationally, these arrows are wild. You could start actually generationally like healing yourself or your family or both. And honestly, when you heal yourself, you do in fact heal your family. Whether your family wants to really like buy into your energy work or not, just by showing up in a higher vibration, you're exuding that energy and it's trickling into other people's auras. So once you heal yourself, you heal every single person you come in contact with, or at least help, right? You don't have to say anything to them. It's just energy to energy, aura to aura. So Aquarius, if you're interested once again in healing yourself, you can get into the Unleash Your Manifesting Power course. The details are in the description box below. And if you're really ready to take your spiritual life and your energy to the max, then join the Cosmic Collective today. It is a transformative space where I'm teaching so many women how to transform their lives, how to become more confident, step into their empowerment, and understand their own energetic flows so that they can use their energy to manifest anything. Because if everything is energy, at the end of the day, if you know yours and you know how yours works, then you're going to win at everything you do in life. It is like such a superpower to have this information and know how to use it for yourself. So what I want to show you with this is that you've got this manifesting power, by the way, hanging out. If you look down at the bottom of the chart at the calendar and watch Venus and Mercury just move nicely along in the sky together, they're still moving nicely. It's about the 21st and 22nd where they really start to kind of split up. And it's almost like there's too big of an orb and kind of the sextile has broken. But you have this energy happening from about the 10th to the 22nd, a good 12 days almost 2 weeks. So please take advantage of it because remember, it's a sextile. So you've got to take action. Take action. Whatever good news you receive, take action on it and fuel that into your home, your family life, something like that. All right, moving along, the last thing we need to talk about in week 3 is from the 9th to the 15th. You've got Uranus and Taurus. Get my little annotator here. Uranus and Taurus squaring up with Mars in Leo up here in your 7th house. Now, once again, a square. You're going to be a little bit annoyed, but it's catalyst energy to break you out of a rut. Perhaps you're in a stuck loop, some stuck cycle. Now, this stuck cycle has to do with your family and it has to do with relationships. So, are there some changes that need to be made in relationships inside of your family? It's like you're deciding something and you're taking action. Maybe you have a toxic relationship with a family member and you're deciding to set boundaries with that family member. Maybe you are, it really is playing out like that. I hate to say it, but it's like not in a negative way, but it's like or maybe you're breaking free, which is positive, from like a family tradition, from like the roots that are like really holding you back. There might be resistance in your family around a relationship that you have and you're like, this is my partner, like take it or leave it type of vibe. And it's not necessarily so negative. It might feel sad at the beginning if you have to set very firm boundaries with your family. Trust me, I get it. But ultimately, it's for the greater good of everybody. Boundaries are very healthy for all parties involved. They're healthy for you because you're showing a level of self-respect to you, and they're healthy for the person that's receiving the boundary because they get an opportunity to grow and evolve in their emotional intelligence and really understand like how they might affect you and other people. So don't ever feel sad or upset or bummed out if you have to set a boundary, but don't just set it, right? You've got to implement it if it is crossed. So it could be that you're breaking free some way, like around family traditions, um, within a family dynamic, something like that as well. That's happening until the 15th, so all of week 2. Okay, moving on to week 3. We're moving and grooving, Aquarius. I love this. I love this format, so please let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying it. I'm really enjoying doing it this way. I feel like it goes much faster and it's so much easier because I'm reading a book, right? I'm reading the astrology wheel versus reading and trying to memorize notes. Okay, so from about the 17th, week 3, the 16th through the 22nd, the week to go big or go home. And Aquarius at Lindsay with Love, we do not play small. We are seeing how big and bold and exciting and luxurious we can create our reality full of abundance and health and wealth and prosperity and only the best things in life. So don't go home. Go big with me. Okay, go big with me. On the 17th, you've got Jupiter in Cancer in your 6th house, once again, of your day-to-day life, your daily work and health routines, making big, expansive moves. Best day every day for the next year here, Aquarius. Sextiling Mars in Virgo. Let's move this along a little bit so you can see that Mars is in fact in Virgo. Kind of just snuck in. I'll take it to the 18th. Oops. There we go. Mars in Virgo. I just want you to see that Mars really is here. So once again, this is a sextile. This is the door is open. You get to walk through. Now, here you have the possibility of changing up something as it relates to your own personal development. This is like your psyche. This is you going deep within and saying like, I'm so tired of being jealous. I'm so tired of feeling insecure. I'm so tired of low self-esteem, low self-worth, whatever. And you're like, just done. And you eliminate it. You delete it. And so your frequency is going up, 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 and you're going big on it. And because of it, your whole daily life just expands. People can feel if you're confident. People can feel if you have high self-esteem, high standards, high respect for yourself. It is an energetic speaking. So if somebody is very aware, they know what energy you're vibing in. I know what energy people are vibing in all of the time. This is one of my superpowers in this reality. So if you were to really step into your greatest empowerment, Aquarius, you could change your whole life. Now, this could also be that you are focused in physically, like in your finances. You're like balancing checkbooks. You're like looking at yours and your partner's bank account. You're looking at like your investment portfolio. Maybe you're making moves. And because of it, maybe you bring so much abundance to your day-to-day life that you just have passive income flowing in, and maybe you just get to take yourself out of the workforce even. It's that type of energy. Now, because the 6th house also involves your health, it could be that physically you're like eliminating fears, you're releasing limiting beliefs, you're like, I'm done with this. And all of a sudden your physical health in your 6th house, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, everything is good. You're all of a sudden in perfect harmony. Your cells are vibrating in perfect harmony. There's no dis-ease in the body. Everything is flowing effortlessly and easily because you have decided to eliminate these worries, fears, and doubts and all the other silly things that our ego tries to trick us into doing, right? So, oh my gosh, go big, take the big, bold action, and really create this abundance in your everyday life. You deserve it. You are worthy, Aquarius. And I'm really so excited for you. Oh my gosh, Jupiter entering into Cancer is like so exciting this month, and everybody is just hyped up for it. I am too. I'm a Cancer rising, so oh my gosh, my whole life is about to expand. I can't wait. All right, finally, Aquarius, week 3. Week 3, and by the way, that Jupiter in Cancer sextile is going until about the 22nd. And then week 3, I'm calling, sorry, the final week, week 4, January, boy, oh boy, Aquarius, June 23rd to the 30th, I'm calling the week to manifest it all. Let's go. Here is why. We're starting off on the 24th with a Jupiter Cazimi in your 6th house. So Jupiter's been hanging out in the 6th house, and then on the 24th, we get this expansive, explosive, amplified Jupiter energy, the Cazimi, where the planet appears to be going into the heart of the sun. And what happens is the energy is extremely amplified. Now, Jupiter is already the energy of optimism, happiness, joy, expansion, abundance, prosperity. So could it get any better? This could be a day where you like receive really good news about your health, really good news from your job, something like that. But it does get better, Aquarius. It really does. Let me take the calendar one more day forward. And now you can see that you have got the new moon right there as well. I mean, how awesome is that? So, if you don't have the perfect day ever, on the 25th, it is a time for you to get out your journal and script. This is my best day every day. I wake up when my eyes want to open. I stretch. I leisurely get my coffee, drink my hot water with lemon and salt, whatever your morning routine is. I go to my hot yoga class at 10 a.m. And from there, I go to get a coffee with my girlfriend. And from there, I go to the bookstore and read. And then from there, I go shopping and then I go to the spa. Like, I mean, like literally write out your best day ever because you have the opportunity to create it with this new moon and Jupiter Cazimi energy. And if you are interested, Aquarius, you can join the manifesting club at lindsaywithlove.com. It's number 3 on my website. It's only $11 a month, and we manifest twice together under the new moon, the full moon. It's live on Zoom, and it is so freaking powerful. Words cannot express the things that we have manifested together as a group. So you might be interested in doing that and really setting yourself up for serious energetic success. All right, finally, the 26th to the 30th, there's 2 more things to talk about. The first is Neptune conjunct Saturn, once again, down here in your 3rd house. Getting your thoughts and your speech in alignment to bring your desires down to reality. Oh, trine Mercury in Leo. We got to get Mercury in Leo. Let me move this along a little bit so Mercury enters into Leo. There you go. Trine Mercury in Leo. So this is a time where you might be connecting with somebody relationship wise, discussing with somebody, maybe your partner, finally telling them about your biggest dreams and wishes, specifically if it relates to like writing, marketing, selling, promoting a business you own. It's a time where you might be receiving information from a business partner about your dreams coming true. I mean, maybe you receive news from your publisher or something about some articles that you wrote here in the 3rd house. There's so many ways this could play out, but it's like you're receiving news from somebody, and this is good news about your wishes and your dreams coming true. And your wishes and your dreams coming true as it relates to like you following a curiosity, following your intellectual pursuits, expanding in your community, something like that. So you'll have to see how that plays out. I know it's a little bit kind of vague. It's kind of a tricky one for me, but you're receiving good news in some way. And finally, the last thing we need to discuss is Pluto over here in your 1st house. Whoa, Lindsay, opposite. Let me maybe if I go this way, opposite Mercury, it's a little bit better. It's hard to draw these lines. Opposite Mercury in your 7th house. This is probably a bit of an internal tug of war within yourself, an opposition, but it's for your own growth and evolution. And it has to do with your personal relationships. You might be nervous to tell somebody this new life path that you're going on. You're going to tell somebody in your relationship, maybe a mom, a dad, your partner, hey, this is who I am. I'm changing up my life path. And you're nervous to say it. It could be that it's really, I think, how it's going to play out is like you're not sure. Do I say it? Do I not? Do I not say it? Do I tell them? Do I not tell them? And it really has to do with like you changing something about you. It's not bad. It's growth. It's evolution. It's transformation. But you're scared to tell them. It's like there's a nervousness about it. But liberate yourself, Aquarius, and tell the person what you need to say. The truth will set you free, and you'll feel better after it. Now, in the highest vibration, this opposition is your words have serious power. So you could be, or somebody else's words have serious power. You could be receiving news from somebody that helps you change up your life path. You could be receiving support and encouragement from somebody that helps you move forward on this new life path. So it doesn't have to be negative, right? There is some sort of kind of like, oh, inside of you, but also those moments are what helps us grow